Made a lot of poor choices there, to be honest, looking back. Trying to keep up with the fads and the Joneses, and I was trying to keep up with latest phones and mag wheels for my car and things of the like. But there was a time where we used to go to the casino a lot, try and chase after the jackpots and whatnot, and thinking, hey, this is going to be our answer.
And we'll just use one credit card to pay another creditor, and it was endless nights of analysing, of juggling, of worrying, and there was constant phone calls. We got sick of the phone calls. We just paid what they wanted. Felt like we were the only people that they were setting the debts to. More often than not, we'd have $60 there, and how we were going to spend that $60 on food, that was just the way that it was. We accepted the fact that $60 was normal to buy food for 5 kids. I had approached him on a couple of occasions to try and get more involved with our finances, and I'm not sure if it was a responsibility thing or denial, but he sort of shut me down, and so I started to resent him. I didn't so much take it out on Malo, but I did find myself in a stressed situation that I started to lash out on the kids. I believe they were quite fearful of me because of my stress and how I bottled it up all inside, and unfortunately they were the victims of my resentment towards my husband. There was a friend of ours, she was sharing that they were having a 5th birthday for their daughter, and she was so excited, and she said, I've got savings. And I said, how did you get there? How did you be able to save on your tight budget? And she said, I'm with CAP, and we've been with them for 6 months. And I thought, wow, I need that. We need that. I rang the CAP client services. The first phone call was, I was a bit hesitant to ring. On the receiving end of that phone call was a willing person that understood exactly what I was needing, and it was like God was throwing me a lifeline from that first phone call. The day that Nairi came to our house, I was a bit reluctant, but I was ready. I was over the stress. I was over the struggle. God's peace came with Nairi when she walked through the door. The one thing that I felt with her was that she wasn't judging us for our wild living. She wasn't judging us that we used to gamble. She wasn't judging us that we overspent here. We were paying one credit card off to pay another credit card. You know, she just sat there and she took all the information in, and from that day on we were so much lighter, so much better. There was hope for us.
We were drawing closer to one another in terms of our relationship, our love for each other.
She brought back hope in our family. When Nairi came with our budget, the one thing that stood out for me was the food budget. I actually said to her, she's got it wrong. It's too much for food. And she sort of looked at me and thought, no, that's what a family of your size actually needs. We were so used to making do with $60. It was the first time that we actually put ourselves, our kids, as top of the list. The creditors were the top of the list. The credit cards were the top of the list. But actually, our kids were the priority. Our relationship has just grown from strength to strength from that point. It's got better because I'm no longer worrying about debt.
I could see our love developing for one another because of what CAP has enabled us to do. Take that burden off in terms of the financial burden and just focus more on our marriage.
CAP was sending us financial statements. At the bottom of the financial statement, you'd see the time frame. I would just constantly count down the days of when we were going to be debt-free. So April 2015, we were debt-free.
Debt-free, set free.
The best news we've ever got. There's nothing holding us back anymore.
For us, we're living testimony of what God has done through CAP, through that ministry, and there is hope, you know, there is light at the end of the dark tunnel. My children are so important to us, and the generations to come, and the amazing work that CAP does. It's changed our lives, it's changed our world.
It's changed the people that we are. We're no longer struggling. We're no longer in bondage.
If you can do that to our family, can you imagine other families in this nation that we call home, Aotearoa? So, man, it's about making a difference in this country, eh? So, just from the bottom of our hearts, we just want to say thank you.
And thank you for caring about us. Thank you for caring about us.